What's up, Vikings fans? This is Chris Corso here with the Minnesota Vikings Podcast. We have Dan Chisena joining the show, the undrafted man out of Penn State, already turning some heads at Verizon Vikings training camp. What's going on, man?
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
So the biggest bite that we've gotten about you so far is that you were a sprinter at Penn State. And voice of the Vikings, Paul Allen, has been talking about it on his radio show, all over Vikings content, that you have this speed being a sprinter at Penn State. So how does that translate onto the football field?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, I ran track for several years at Penn State and had a blast doing that. And it's a great asset of mine, I think, to be able to get out there and use that to my advantage, whatever ways I can, and I can, whether it's running routes, running guys off, and just trying to use that to my advantage as best I can.
Yeah, so I've seen you've connected with Kirk Cousins on a deep ball or two. So what has that been like, catching balls from him? And is that the best part of your game, the deep ball?
First of all, it's been awesome, catching balls from Kirk and all the quarterbacks. They've been doing an awesome job, and just trying to do my part and, getting to where they throw it and bringing it in. But, I don't know. I don't think you can just be fast. I don't think you can just catch deep balls. So, it's good to be able to try and run by some guys. I think it's more important to, try and be a complete player. And, that's what I've been, trying to work on the past, couple of years since getting back into this all.
Yeah, so there's a very brand new wide receiver room for the Vikings this year. A lot of young players. We talked to BC Johnson last week, and he said that you were just asking him like great questions, being one of the older guys in the room, only 23 years old for him. So what's it been like talking with guys like him and Adam Thielen in the Vikings wide receiver room?
Yeah, the entire room has been so awesome and so helpful for all of us that just came in. And as you mentioned, I've been asking BC questions and asking Adam questions and Beaver and Tajay and all the guys who have been there, and they know what it's like. They have that experience, and I'm just trying to take that beginner's mentality wherever I can, and because I don't have it all figured out, and these guys have been doing it at a high level, and so just trying to learn as much as I can, and they've been awesome. They've really helped everyone out, and been really willing to do whatever they can to make us better as a unit.
So when you see guys like Adam Thielen, Chad Beebe, BC Johnson, as we mentioned, a late-round draft pick in BC, and then two undrafted guys make the 53-man roster here, what does that say to you coming in as an undrafted guy and the opportunity that you have here?
Yeah, I think, coaches have said it, it's you just got to – they've said, they don't care where you're drafted and stuff, and you see it with guys like that have been able to earn their way onto the field. And, for me, it's just been about taking it one day at a time, controlling what I can control, and just going out and competing every day, and just be proud of what I put on film, and let all that other stuff figure itself out and sort it out, because it's so much is out of my control. So I just want to be the best version of myself that I can be every day.
So you grew up in Pennsylvania and you play wide receiver at Penn State. What was that like to get that call from Penn State, being recruited by them and playing at one of the biggest college football programs in the country?
It was such a blessing in my life. Grew up 2.5 hours away, and always watched Penn State games on TV and stuff. And that was my dream growing up, was to go to Penn State and be on the football team. And by the grace of God, I was able to do that, and even get on the field a little bit. And I have so much love for that community and that university and the program, obviously.
Who was your idol growing up in Pennsylvania playing football? I can only imagine who your idol was growing up.
Oh, man. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. There was a linebacker when I was really little, not really little, but by the name of Dan Connor, who my uncle coached in high school. And I met him when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, and he played for Penn State. And that's really what started my love of football and love of Penn State, was that I got to meet this Penn State football player, and that my uncle knew and stuff. So that kind of like got the ball rolling. And then, growing up, I wouldn't say I had one guy or another, but I just loved watching Penn State and college football and pro ball. Like I just loved the game since I was little.
Playing at Beaver Stadium, that place is ginormous. Like it's bigger than most NFL stadiums. So how does that prepare you for the NFL level, being able to play on such a big stage like that?
Yeah, no, I mean, as you mentioned, I think that's, from my limited, games that I've played in, I think I'm pretty biased, but I think that's the best environment in college football. And, the fans there get after it. And it's awesome playing there. And tough environments there and tough environments on the road that I've been able to play in a little bit. And, that all helps, when you've been in those moments and you've handled those situations and been able to keep your focus and still focus on the task at hand. So that way, when you're in that situation again, that you've been there. It's not new territory, and it's just gives you a little more comfort in those moments.
James Franklin is one of the most prominent college coaches in the game today. He had some really good words about you when you signed with the Vikings as an undrafted free agent. What was it like to play under him?
I have nothing but so much love for Coach Franklin. I mean, he gave me multiple opportunities to be on that team. First when he gave me a chance to be a preferred walk-on coming out of high school, and then when I left and ran track for a couple years and ultimately decided that I wanted to give football another shot. And when I approached him about coming back to the team, he was all on board. He was happy to see me, and I didn't know how that situation was going to go. And so I'm so appreciative for those opportunities. And throughout my time in the program, he's always been a big supporter of mine and has really pushed me. And I can't say enough about him. I love the guy, and I'm thankful for all he's done in my life.
So looking at your college career, you won a ton of games at Penn State. I'm bringing it up. The one game that I remember that you lost was here playing the Gophers last season. That was an incredible game, back and forth. What was it like to compete with those guys? And that has to be one of your first tastes of Minnesota.
Yeah, that was the first time that I was in the state, and I don't really have much to say about the game. I mean, we lost, and you guys, Minnesota won, and they deserved to win. They played better than us, and it is what it is. But it was a great environment. I mean, the fans there were awesome, and great atmosphere.
Well, now those fans are on your side. They'll be cheering you on and hopefully cheering you on in a Vikings uniform. So best of luck at Verizon Vikings training camp, and it was great to get to know you today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.